Let's go Dolphins! I'm about to release some explosive information that could shake up the entire future of the franchise. If you already thought this season was crazy, just wait until you hear what's happening behind closed doors. We're talking about a potentially massive shakeup at the most important position in football, quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa, his time may be running out, and what I'm about to share with you today could be the first glimpse of the next face of the Miami Dolphins. But before we begin, make sure to click like only if you've ever been yelled at your TV during a Dolphins game. If you've suffered through heartbreak, rebuilds, false hopes, this is your moment. And if you're a true Dolphins fan, leave this in the comments. Go Dolphins! We deserve a real QB. Okay, buckle up, because I just discovered 5 quarterbacks already being scouted as potential first-round replacements for Tua. One of them is right here in Miami. One of them might be the most physically gifted quarterback prospect we've ever seen. And one of them might be the toughest guy we've had at the helm since Marino. You won't want to miss a second of this. The truth is simple. If the Dolphins end up with a top 5 pick, it's extremely likely that they will draft a quarterback. That's just the reality when you have a new head coach and a new general manager coming in. Because let's face it, Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer aren't surviving a season like this. When a new regime comes in, they're not going to want to stick with a quarterback they didn't draft, didn't develop, and didn't pay. They'll want to put their stamp on the franchise, and what better way to do that than with a brand new franchise QB? And folks, the early scouting has already begun. Let's break down the top quarterback targets the Dolphins might have their eyes on, and I promise, this list is going to stir up some debate. Starting with the name that should absolutely be at the top of your radar, Lenora Sellers from South Carolina. If the draft were held tomorrow and Miami had the #1 overall pick, this is the guy to take. He's just 20.8 years old, barely old enough to drink, and he's already flashing elite physical traits. We're talking 6 feet 3 inches, 240 pounds, with a monster arm and athleticism that jumps off the screen. Sellers can do it all: QB draws, RPOs, rollouts, and he can absolutely launch a deep ball 70 yards downfield. Now yes, his mechanics need work. Accuracy and decision-making still have to develop, but when you compare this kid to Tua, it's like night and day. Sellers is the physical freak Miami's been missing. Traits through the roof. Coach him up even just a little, and you're looking at a superstar in the making. The upside is off the charts. This is exactly the kind of player the next Dolphins regime will want to build around. But let me give you another name that's quickly rising: Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. This kid has been absolutely lighting it up in the Big Ten and is, believe it or not, currently the Heisman favorite. Through 4 games, he's posted 16 total touchdowns and has not thrown a single interception. He's playing flawless football, and he's doing it with poise, command, and some sneaky athleticism. Standing 6 feet 5 inches and 225 pounds, Mendoza has the size and the arm to fit right into the NFL. The only knock? He's a bit older at 22.5 years, but that maturity might be a plus for a Dolphins team that needs stability fast. From Miami, Florida, by the way. That's right, he's a hometown kid, and that could play a major role in fan support and locker room chemistry. Third on the radar, John Mateer from Oklahoma. This dude has heart. He started at Washington State, transferred to Oklahoma, and has proven himself to be a leader and a fighter. He's 6 feet 1 inch, 224 pounds, and he's built like a running back. This kid runs hard, lowers his shoulder, and plays through pain, something this franchise has longed for at the QB position. He recently had surgery on his throwing hand and still finished the game with a game-winning drive against Auburn. That's grit. That's toughness. That's what we haven't seen from Tua. Yes, Mateer still has accuracy issues and needs polish as a passer, but he's the kind of player who can elevate a team simply through willpower. And then there's Drew Aller from Penn State. This was the guy many thought would be the top pick if he entered last year's draft. A 6 feet 5 inches, 241-pound cannon-armed monster with 5-star pedigree. But here's the catch. He hasn't progressed. His mental processing is questionable. His mechanics are shaky. He's got the raw talent, but something just isn't clicking. And if he struggles in big games like the upcoming matchup against Oregon, his stock is going to take a hit. Miami can't afford another first-round bust, so Aller would be a risky pick unless he shows a serious jump in the coming weeks. Last on the top 5 list is Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. This is your classic pocket passer. Polished, smart, experienced, but lacking the mobility and dynamic playmaking ability you'd ideally want in today's NFL. At 6 feet 1 inch and 205 pounds, he's not scaring anybody physically. He's also 24 years old, the oldest of the group. Still, if you're looking for someone to sit behind Tua and maybe take over in 2027, he could be a decent bridge option. But let's be honest, does this fan base really want another safe, just okay quarterback? We've done that song and dance too many times. Now here's where things get spicy. Some of these QBs would absolutely benefit from sitting behind Tua for a few games or even a full season. Sellers and Mendoza in particular. But what happens if Miami can't wait? What if Tua goes down again? Well, the team just gives up on him mid-season. That's the gamble with drafting a developmental guy. Because here's where things get even more interesting. When we talk about the next franchise quarterback in Miami, we have to consider not just talent, but fit. Fit with the city. Fit with the fan base. Fit with the kind of culture the new GM and head coach will want to establish. And that's where the debate between Sellers and Mendoza really heats up. You've got one guy who's all tools, raw power, and upside, Lenora Sellers. Then you've got another who's polished, productive, and a local kid, Fernando Mendoza. Either could become the face of the franchise, but each represents a very different direction for the Miami Dolphins. Let's break it down further. Sellers is the kind of quarterback who reminds people of Cam Newton or Josh Allen. He's got the frame, he's got the legs, and he's got that arm talent that just doesn't come around often. But he's raw. We're talking about a guy who needs real coaching, real development. And let's be honest, Miami hasn't exactly had the best reputation when it comes to developing quarterbacks. So if you're going to roll the dice on Sellers, you better have a coaching staff in place that knows how to refine mechanics, improve decision-making, and build a system around his strengths. Is that the next Dolphins staff? That remains to be seen. On the flip side, Mendoza is someone who's already showing he can run a pro-style offense. He's shown elite decision-making, comfort in the pocket, and that quiet confidence you want in a QB1. But is he dynamic enough to elevate a franchise that's been stuck in quarterback purgatory for 2 decades? That's the question. His ceiling may not be as high as Sellers, but his floor is a lot higher. He's the safer pick, and being from Miami, that storyline writes itself. Imagine a hometown kid bringing this team back to relevance. That sells tickets, that builds hype, that unites a fractured fan base. And don't sleep on John Mateer. I know he's not in the same tier of natural arm talent as Sellers or Mendoza, but he plays with that edge, that fight, that this fan base can get behind. He's not polished, but he's a warrior. He plays through injury. He finishes games. He's not afraid of the moment. If he gets healthy and continues to develop, don't be shocked if his name starts climbing up draft boards. He could be the dark horse in this whole race, especially if the new front office values toughness and grit over raw metrics. Then there's Drew Aller and Garrett Nussmeier, who are starting to feel like names from another era. Sure, Aller has that massive arm, and yes, Nussmeier is the most NFL ready in terms of mental game and pocket presence, but neither has wowed through the early stages of this season. And you know what? In a league where mobility and improvisation are becoming essential traits, can you really justify drafting a QB who can't move? Who can't escape pressure? That's the concern with Nussmeier. He might be a solid backup, a game manager, but is he the guy to lead you deep into January? Probably not. And don't forget, there are still other names floating out there. Guys like Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Carson Beck, Siri Robertson, Taylon Green. They're not top-tier prospects yet, but with a few big performances, especially against top-tier competition, someone could rise. That's the nature of college football. One game, one moment can change everything. But right now, none of them look like guys worth spending a top 5 pick on. Not yet. The smart move for Miami? If they end up drafting top 5, it's time to swing big. Enough with the safe picks. Enough with trying to patch things together with mid-tier veterans or bridge QBs. If this franchise wants to matter again, really matter, then you go get a guy who can change